was just that's what the default thing in your car was,
Yeah,
wasn't it,
exactly.
back then? Yeah.
You tape.
Yeah.
Tapes. Kids don't understand.
Good times.
All right.
Yeah, so
Then,
that happened. Where were we?
I don't
We're
know.
we're on a journey.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you about that camera.
Okay, so that's a new camera that we basically it's actually a brand new little thing. I'm not going to mention the brand name because we tried to get a sponsored camera and we couldn't. So
Right.
we had to actually pay for it. So Ado's maxed out his credit cards yet again. And the reason we got that thing is because I was talking about this before actually.
Hold that thought. What I didn't say before is that the start of the Blokesworld 2016 thing, the thing I loved about it is what I say. I stopped saying it on stage because I think it's really cool. Hey, let's have a good time tonight. It's Friday night. We have normal jobs as well. This is the band. This is our Friday night. We've knocked off,
Yep.
got to this gig. Everyone in this room, are you ready? Let's have a good party.
Yeah.
Which is what you say in the Blokesworld edit.
That's right.
We have the first thing you actually say it actually made me look like, damn, cool. That's cool. We've got day jobs. This is what we do on the weekend.
Yeah.
Fucking
And I
brilliant, mate.
I actually had to. That's the thing that we discovered probably only in the last 1 or 2 months.
To Aussies,
Yeah.
it's endearing, I think. I'd like to think it is because there's so many just normal blokes. Like,
Yeah.
like who are these big show? You don't want that. No one.
No.
It's not like we're American, so it's more endearing, I think.
Well,
We're just like you, but we've got a camera and we're hooked on this idea.
It's exactly what everyone was saying before. Every time we go to a pub on a Friday night when we go away somewhere, that's the story that we tell people because they ask us, where's everyone else? And so people are actually interested to find out that it's just two blokes, and we're like, well, we better put that on the opening sequence then to explain it because we keep having to explain this bloody story over and over.
Love it.
Yeah, and that's why the show is, especially this season, is starting to become a bit more about itself because everyone keeps telling us in person, when we go away, just by asking us what they're asking us, they want to know what we're doing. It's a bit half travel show, half kind of just going to look at cool stuff show. These events that happen that people don't know about, they're the ones we go to, and they're stuff that blokes want to know about. Yep. And they're things, like the Central Queensland Bulls, Bikes, Bugging and Bands event. You wouldn't have known that happened before I just said it. So you go there for a weekend, you camp there. There's bull riding, there's bands on every night, this big stage they've built, there's dirt bikes going around an enduro track and also a flat track. There's Fink desert racing buggies there. There's guys on quad bikes. There's sand drags. There's these guys that have put these massive engines in these motorbikes and drag up on, in really spongy sand. And anywhere you look, there's just something awesome happening. And it's the kind of weekend where everyone who goes about it raves about it. And that's our job, is to tell everyone about it and to show them how cool it is so that they'll want to go.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing that big networks don't touch it. Oh.
Yeah, well, I guess when these events get big enough, that's when networks touch them. Right. So, Blokesworld back in the day, way before me, used to cover Summer Nats when Summer Nats was small. And then Summer Nats got big, and then everyone started covering it. So the events we go to are kind of in that stage where they're not big yet. They'll get the local sort of prime news or the local channel covering them, the local news, but they won't get capital city coverage. And, that's our job, is to sort of film it in a lot more depth, talk to the people who are involved, show how accessible it is, and get people sort of interested in going. Because all these things, I'm the sort of guy who, if I wasn't involved in any of this, I love racing go-karts, and I really would love to race a car one day. I didn't have parents who got me into it. I didn't have family who got me into it. And to me, it's just something that's so far away that it could never happen, unless I just made a heap of money or something. And the thing I've learned from Blokesworld is that, we went down to Canberra, ACT Speedway, and these guys were there, the street stockers. And these are guys that just get like an old EB Falcon, rip out the interior, chuck a roll cage in, and just do speedway for cents in the dollar,
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I could do that, And so we're trying to get it onto the show that, yes, you can.
Yeah, inspiring, yeah.
It is, and the problem we've got is we come home every weekend going, hey, I'm going to get my pilot's license. Or, hey, I'm going to get I'm
going to do that.
Get a dirt drag bike.
Jump out of planes. That wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
But who you are, I think you're an actual, and same with Ado, born for this, like born more to produce stuff. Like,
well, I guess at the end of the day,
I'm
I'm a pretty nerdy guy, and like I said, I love recording equipment. I built a recording studio. It took 3 years to build a recording studio next to my house, and I did it properly and all that. Did all the maths and built it out of the right materials and everything to make sure it sounded right. And I love that. I love, plugging stuff in, and I love editing. I love mixing and editing music. I love live sound. I love playing in bands, and I love cameras. I love playing with all the camera gear and, lenses and, just making stuff on a timeline and making things that people want to watch. So if I could, I would still be in a band. I would still shoot for Blokesworld. I would be racing go-karts or speedway or something, and I just don't have the time to do it all, so I'm doing this.
Yeah. Have you got any kids?
Two boys.
Yeah?
Yeah, young boys.
Isn't it a struggle when you get, as a man, I don't want to talk about personal life, but I find that, particularly now, I've kind of worked out, I actually love these gigs. I love these, I love doing all these things. I really love it. But it's really hard when the kids are there because you want to not be at home. You really want to. And no, I'm not trying to.
But you feel guilty.
Not
if you're
chasing
not
tail. Yeah, exactly. But you
want
and you should be raising these young men, right? You should be like what the balance. I don't really remember my old man being home much because he was a racer. He was always racing. So it's a real to do it properly. Obviously, everyone knows someone who's single and 40 something and just. Doing it flat out without.
I don't. Yeah, but before you had kids, do you remember what you did with all that time?
No,
I can't.
I was on Sim City.
Okay,
just wasted years.
Yeah.
Mate.
No, I just don't. Yeah, I was playing games, I guess, but not obsessively.
But just for one block of bang.
Yeah,
hooked on a computer
or
and
like
something else.
A game of golf. Bang, 8 hours, whole day gone. One game of golf and a few beers. And I guess that's where the time used to go, stuff like that. And when you got kids and you're doing something like, or working full time and doing something like a band, or like what I'm doing, there is nothing else. You're literally, and it's good for me. I've got my day job and I come home at normal day job hours, which means I get a few hours with the kids at night time. But the thing about kids is that they go to bed, 7:30 or earlier, and so then. You've got a few hours there to do some editing or to do some podcasts or learn some songs, So you don't want to waste that time.
Right, so you tend to now smash what you like. It's more like you categorize it in your mind and go, oh, yes, they're asleep, yes. Bang, time to do this. Whereas before, I would have been watching Blokesworld on Fox.
Well,
back in the day.
Exactly.
Just letting I used to complain, like, what am I doing? I'm watching people with a life. I just dawned on me one day after years and years of just sitting back. It's like, I'm watching people.
Yeah.
What is it? Where's my life in all this?
Well, that's true, but I mean, you can't, you can't go racing on a weeknight, and there's nothing wrong with watching a bit of TV, and there's so much good TV around, especially with Netflix now. You can not waste all that time that we used to waste, sort of waiting for ads and all that stuff. You can just get straight in and get straight to the good content, and there's so many good shows. That's the thing. It's democratized. Anyone can go straight to what they want to see now. Yeah.
Hey, I just thought of something. If it were me and Ado, what's his real name, first name?
Adrian.
And
he goes with Ado because to stop people calling him AIDS.
AIDS.
I'm telling all of his gags. Yeah, but that's...
that's one of his. All right, well, I imagine if I got the call up to do, I'd shit myself. I'd be like, whoa, hang on, okay.
I was, but...
But not only, for two reasons. Firstly, you want to make sure the show's great. I'm sure you'd go, no, I can actually think I can make this better, all right? Get the shoulders out, I think I can have a good crack at this. You've had it done in the years, right? But then there's the other thing of going on the road. Like, what sort of wild you know, B&Bs or where am I going? Like, who's this
Yeah.
wild man that's been living on the road for 14 years, basically?
Well,
like,
the first weekend I went away, and we'll go there because I know you watched Blokesworld back in the day when it used to be MA rated. So Blokesworld, and it no longer does. It used to have naked ladies on it. So the very first weekend I went away, we went down to Melbourne, and there was a car show down there at Little River. And I think there was something else on the Saturday. I think we went to go and meet Chaz Mostert at Pro Drive or something. And then on the Saturday night, we went and filmed in one of these clubs in Melbourne. And Chris Franklin was there, the comedian Chris Franklin.
The Chopper impersonator, yeah.
No, he's not the Chopper impersonator. He's a guy that sang Bloke. I'm a Bloke.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
That dude. Who, incidentally, I met 10 years previously when he came into one of our gigs and we chucked him up on stage, but that's another story.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't remember.
I'm a bloke. I'm a yobbo.
That guy, yeah.
Did he? Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and so he's been on a few Blokesworld segments, but basically, yeah. So we had a hotel room booked halfway from Melbourne to Little River, and he kind of crashed there as well, right. And Cambo was there, and so we're in this like.
Does Cambo always talk like that?
Cambo,
yeah,
he does. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, he's a rural guy,
wow,
and he's a plumber, I think, by trade, or tiler, or something.
He's definitely got. I don't know whether he's putting it on. Okay, I just wanted to ask.
No, he's not. Yeah, because anything that he actually tries to put on, we never end up airing because it's too unnatural. Right. So best thing with Cambo is just strap a lapel mic on him and let him wander around and forget that it's there. No, he's really good. He's a trooper. But yeah, and so the first night we've been in this strip club filming it all night, and then we went out to this divey hotel, and that's when I thought, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah. Who are these madmen?
Yeah, and I'd seen all three of them on TV. I knew exactly who they all were, but I'm still like, what the hell have I done? Like, what have I got myself into? So that was pretty funny.
Right, but everything worked out.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Is it a good, of course you're going to say yes, but I want to say, is it a good relationship? Like, do you see eye to eye on things? Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, I always want to do everything the best I can. Like with the bands, especially, I used to, and it's the same with Blokesworld. Like if I'm giving this a crack, I'm giving it the best crack. Because on one hand, you don't like. I look at everything through the eyes of 80-year-old me in a retirement home. There's one thing that I wouldn't be able to live with myself is if the guy from Blokesworld said, "Hey, come and film," and I didn't do it. But then the other thing I couldn't live with is if I did it and then half-assed it. So. I'm probably the one out there being told, "Hey, let's wrap it up. We're done for the day." I was when we first started, and now, we've been talking to distributors in America. We've had a lot of good feedback with the direction the show's gone now, and a bit of negative feedback because there's no longer nudity. But by the same token, you can watch it with your kids now. So that's a pretty good trade-off. So a lot more people are watching it.
All these blokes have gotten older.
Exactly. Yeah. And the young blokes are watching, computer games, Netflix or whatever, So, and I forget what my point was.
Getting along,
Oh, we get along? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, we're going really hard now. We still have a great time because it's our weekend, but he's my best mate at the moment because we spend a lot of time together on weekends and we work really well together. We've been doing it for a year now and it just really locked in. And we've got the right ideas. He trusts me to edit his show. I'm pretty sure I think when they first started Blokesworld, they spent the first 2 years with a production company and they had people editing and all that doing stuff. But since then, he actually bought the rights back to Blokesworld and he's been doing it all himself. And I'm more or less the first person since then that he's trusted to actually edit the show. Right. The first cut of that the new title sequence I did, he looked at that and went, "That's great." So the things I'm doing. Either they're aligned with what he wants or he's just going with it for some reason. But,
does he live on the coast? Is it
No, he's Sunshine Coast.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So you're flying in to meet each other?
Well,
Often
we're
or-
meeting up at